Good day, beautiful people. This is Natalie Silver with Life Treasures and Golden Moments, sharing with you true stories of miracles and inspiration. How are you? How you doing? And I hope you're having a good winter and staying warm, and hopefully you're not getting hit by the ice storms and the snowstorms very badly. And just keep thinking that before long, spring will be on its way. You know, the other day I was looking at a little baby kitten all curled up by her mom and purring away. And I thought, there is true contentment. What is contentment, really? Contentment is being happy and satisfied with your life and things around you. And how do you get that? Well, this is the story today, and it's called Contentment Is by Ruth Center. I heard the voice, but I couldn't see the person. She was on the other side of the locker, just coming in from her early morning swim. Her voice sounded like the morning itself. Bright, cheerful, and full of life. At 6:15 in the morning, it would catch anyone's attention. I heard it as an affirming tone. Dolores, I really appreciated the book you picked up for me last week. I know the library was out of your way. I haven't been able to put the book down. So Solomon is a great writer. I'm glad you suggested him to me. Good morning, Pat, she greeted another swimmer. For a moment the melodious voice was silent, then I heard it again. Have you ever seen such a glorious day? I spied a pair of meadowlarks as I walked over this morning. Makes you glad you're alive, doesn't it? The voice was too good to be true. Who could be that thankful at this time of the morning? Her voice had a note of refinement to it. Probably some rich woman who had nothing to do all day but sip tea on her veranda and read books. I suppose I could be cheerful at 6 a.m. if I could swim and read my way through the day. Probably even owns a cottage in the North Woods. I rounded the corner toward the showers and came face to face with the youthful voice. She was just packing up her gear. Her yellow housekeeping uniform hung crisp and neat on her 50th frame. It was a uniform I'd seen before, along with mops, brooms, dust cloths, and buckets, and an employer of the facility at which I swam. She flashed a smile my way, picked up her plastic Kmart shopping bag, and hurried out of the door, spreading "Have a glorious day" benedictions as she went. I still had the yellow uniform on my mind as I swam my laps and sank down among the foamy lather of the whirlpool. My two companions were deep in conversation. Well, at least one of them was. He's tired. His sad voice told tragic woes of arthritic knees, a heart aneurysm, sleepless nights, and pain-filled days. Nothing was good or right. The water was too hot, the whirlpool jets weren't strong enough for his stiff knees, and his doctors had been much too slow in diagnosing his case. With his diamond-studded hand, he wiped the white suds out of his face. He looked ancient, but I suspected he was 50-ish. The yellow uniform and the diamond-studded ring stood out in striking, silent contrast. Proof to me again that when God says godliness with contentment is great gain, He really means it. This morning I saw both contentment and discontent. I resolved never to forget. This story reminds me of that saying, do you look at life through a glass half full or half empty? It all makes a difference in how our lives will be. The purring kitten by its mom was content and just had the simple things of life. The positive lady in the story that had a hard job, but she had a beautiful outlook about life and what is meaningful and what counts the most. The gentleman, on the other hand, looked at everything in the negative. Everything was always wrong. It's how you look at life that makes a difference in your life. I heard one day that you can either get up happy every day, it's your decision, you can be sad, it's up to you. I hope you enjoyed this story today and it uplifted you and gave you some insight on how to have a beautiful day and a beautiful life. This is Natalie Silver with Life Treasures and Golden Moments. God bless. Take care and have a beautiful week, and we'll see you again soon.